As with any international trade operation, the first step is to define an objective for which the owner of the company has clear points.
My objective as the owner of the company is to grow in the national market and at the same time innovate in the products that we can offer to our clients. For this reason, I began to see options to import into my businesses, and in the same process of doing that, I found a custom agent who highly recommended the railway system to be able to import goods. By doing a market analysis, we realized that the best products we could bring to innovate and be able to compete at a better price with higher quality. The results were horns, lights, and engine for a Camry, which is a very popular car here in the city of Durango.
In the complex web of international trade, the customs broker emerges as a crucial figure. This professional not only facilitates the movement of goods across borders, but also plays a vital role in ensuring compliance with customs regulations and standards, all based on Article 159 of the Customs Law.
My job as a custom agent is mainly to help the company and the owner of the company to import products. In this case, what we want to do is to look for the way the products they selected to import have the correct certifications, the correct compensatory quotas and limits, also the correct regulations for import into the country of Mexico, and also in turn, in this case, was to look at the ideal products and also initially look for suppliers and the invoice to make the import.
The digital tax receipt, CFDI, or commercial invoice is the main document when an import process is initiated, since all the fundamental data, both of the merchandise and of the transportation, and even data such as the calculation of taxes, originate from the invoice based on Article 29A of the Federal Fiscal Code.
Once we have the commercial invoices of the products, the next step is to carry out their classifications. For this, I use the TIGE tariff, that is to classify products in Mexico, and also in the online CASA system, which tells us the restrictions and regulations. Also, the classification of the products in this case will be headlights, engine, and car speakers. All these taking into account the countries of origin of the goods. Mainly for the engine, the classification is 8407 34 0399 for the Toyota Camry 2.5 engine. We also continue with the fraction for the headlights, which is 85 12 90 07 004, and finally the fraction for the car speakers, which is 85 18 29 99, taking into account the general classification rules 1 and 6 for the final classification for our products. According to the products, it was determined that the general import tax is exempt for both the engine, the headlights, and the speakers, which is a very great benefit for the owner of the company, Yonke Don Vidal. In turn, it is very important to know the restrictions and non-tariff regulations will require for this our documentation, such as the certificate of origin to know where the merchandise comes from, also the packing list the container has, the transport document from the carrier, and also other types of documents such as the entry summary, and also what is the commercial invoice, that is vital to know the restrictions and regulations that the merchandise has, and the normativity such as the norms that could affect the importation of the product to Yonke Don Vidal.
A processor assists in the management of customs procedures, but does not have the same functions as a customs broker. In Mexico, their role is regulated in Article 40 of the Customs Law.
It is necessary that the goods remain in deposit with customs to be able to manipulate and verify the goods within the customs facilities. We achieve this by making use of a fiscal or controlled area, all of this with the purpose of allocating them to a customs region that in this case will be definitive importation, since the goods will be destined to be marketed inside the national territory, so they will not return. To ensure that what is declared in the customs declaration is correct, it was necessary to carry out a physical inspection of the merchandise, identifying each characteristic of the merchandise and taking into account that it is the same with the tariff classification previously determined by the customs agent. In addition, a documentary review regarding the operation is also necessary, where I carry out inspection of documents.
An entry summary is an official document used to declare the import or export of goods, detailing their value, origin, and tariff classification. It's regulated in Article 36 of the Customs Law.
For this operation, it's necessary to fill out and present a request, which I carry out with the help of Annex 22 of the General Rules of Foreign Trade. This clearance will require a request with Code A1 and definitive importation regime, because the merchandise will remain in the country for unlimited time. The petition includes information regarding the contributions applicable to each product as well as their calculations. The applicable contributions for making and presenting the entry request are the right to customs processing, the prevalidation, and the value-added tax prevalidation. And the ones for each product are the general import tax and the value-added tax. Is not applicable to any type of permit or regulation, but it is necessary to use identifiers related to the free trade agreement between Mexico, the United States, and Canada.
The next step in the operation is to go through the automated selection mechanism. The legal basis is Article 43 of the law.
DODA is an acronym that stands for Document of Origin of Customs Clearance. This official document certifies the origin of goods and their customs clearance. It serves to verify the legality of goods entering or leaving a country and to ensure the compliance with customs regulations. The comfort order in international trade is a fundamental term to understand how contracts and responsibilities between buyers and sellers are handled globally. For this operation, we must use a mandatory, who is selected with the help of the entrustment letter, that it is an agreement in which one party, that is the importer, authorizes another, that is the mandatory, to act on its behalf in specific commercial transactions.
A freight forwarder is the person in charge of moving goods from the point of origin to the destination. Its role in international trade is regulated by the customs law in Article 54.
Our three goods will meet at the headquarters in El Paso, Texas to continue with the rail route. The route will have two stops. The first will be in Chihuahua, the second will be in Escalon, so that in the third stop we'll arrive in Torreón, Coahuila, where the goods are unloaded and a trailer will be uploaded so they can reach the city of Durango. The two goods will go through a CPT, Incoterm, and the engine will be a FCA. Incoterms are modalities that delimit the responsibilities for the seller and the buyer. In this case, the products that come from China with a CPT, which is carried paid to, already comes off the freight to El Paso, Texas. However, it does not include insurance, and our engine that comes from Florida El Paso, Texas.
A verifier is an official who inspects goods and documents to ensure compliance with customs regulations. In Mexico, their functions are regulated in Article 42 of the Customs Law.
When a freight train arrives at the station, the first step is the registration of the cars and their contents. Each car must be declared to the customs authorities. Importers and exporters must present a series of documents including the commercial invoice, the cargo manifest, and a detailed list of the goods transported in each car. These documents allow customs officials to verify the nature, value, and origin of the goods. Not all rail cars are physically verified. Section for inspection can be random or based on a risk analysis. The risk analysis considers factors such as country of origin, type of merchandise, and the importer's history. If a rail car is selected for verification, it is our duty to proceed with its physical inspection. Inspection can include visual inspection, X-ray scanning, and in some cases, chemical testing for prohibited substances. X-ray scanning technology allowed us to see the content of a rail car without opening it, speeding up the verification process and improving efficiency.
The customs verification process is crucial to maintaining the security and integrity of international trade. Thanks to these controls, it is guaranteed that goods entering and leaving the country comply with all regulations. In this case, the operation ends without irregularities, and the customs clearance proceeds freely. But what would happen otherwise?
Well, in this case, we see that at the time of the physical inspection, the merchandise presented an undeclared surplus in the corresponding documentation, as well as a series of products understood as undeclared merchandise, in other words, contraband. Therefore, the respective infractions are for both applicable Article 151, fourth section of the Customs Law, and, quote textually, when on the occasion of examination of goods in transport undeclared of excess of merchandise in more than 10% of the value in the customs documentations that covers the goods. In turn, related to Articles 176 and 178 of the Customs Law, Article 200 of the Regulations of the Customs Law, the Rules 3.7.6, 3.7.19, 3.7.21 of the General Foreign Trade Rules, to which the penalties set for in Article 178, Section 9, apply, which explains the penalties and fines of Section 1 to 4, as the case may be, of this same article, or in case of being exempt, 70 to 100% of the total value of the merchandise. In turn, Article 151 establishes the precautory seizure of the merchandise.
However, the verifier does not have the authority to interpose the infractions or sanctions. He acts as an intermediary for the one who applies these means, which is the customs administrator. And when this occurs, taxpayers have several means of defense at their disposal.
In this case, taxpayers may opt to use various means of defense, among which the most important are the appeal of revocation, annulment trial, and amparo trial. The appeal for revocation functions as a means by which the taxpayer may file in situation where the resolution of the authority is not to his or her liking. The administrative contentious trial or nullity trial is an administrative process that complies with a procedure divided in stages, and this means is used when the result of the revocation appeal is not favorable. Finally, the indirect amparo trial, similar to the nullity trial, is an administrative process divided in stages, and the tendency is to file this action when the taxpayer feels that his rights has been violated.
And with that, the operation ends successfully. From now on, everything depends on the importer and owner of the company to achieve the success he is looking for. All thanks to the collaborators, men and women who make possible that international procedures happen at all hours in all parts of the world. Without more to say, thank you for your attention.
Para esta operación es necesario que las mercancías queden en depósito. Ay, lo estoy volviendo para acá. Puesto de vez. Puesto de vez.